Okay guys, this topic is bivariate data. Bivariate data is data with two variables. With the two variables, one is generally called the dependent variable and the other is the independent variable. As the name suggests, one value depends on the other variable. So the dependent variable is the one whose value depends on the independent variable. So, for example, down below here in this worked example, number of tickets sold to a music concert and the total revenue from the concert. The revenue here is the dependent variable because the revenue you get from the concert, the amount of money the organisers get from the concert, does depend on the amount of tickets sold. Other examples would be, for example, booking a wedding venue. The total cost and the number of guests. Well, the total cost is going to depend on the number of guests that are invited. So from that you can see if the total cost is the dependent variable because it depends on the number of guests that's invited. Depending on how internet's costings are set up, the hours used per month and the monthly cost on a bill. Well, the monthly cost on the bill depends, so it's the dependent variable, it depends on the hours used per month. So it's really important to be able to recognise the dependent and the independent variable. When they're in a table, such as here, generally the independent variable is written in the first row. So this is the independent variable, the revenue from the concert is the dependent variable. If these are graphed, then bivariate data is usually represented graphically on something called a scatter plot. Here is a scatter plot, and I'll explain it in a sec. And when they are graphed, you can see here the independent variable is normally on the x-axis. So in this case, the independent variable, the number of tickets sold, on the x-axis, the dependent variable on the y-axis. So when you're drawing a scatter plot, heading, make sure we have a heading. You work out which axis each thing goes. So the independent variable here, the dependent variable there, and we must label the axes. Then basically, it's a matter of just putting a dot, like here, this dot here represents 200 tickets sold. Here, 200 tickets sold. The revenue is 3,600. Alright, let's pick another dot here. So let's pick on this dot here. That is 500 tickets sold, and if we read across, 500 tickets sold, read across, 11,000 being the total revenue. So I'm pretty sure you'd be okay with drawing the scatter plot. So remembering a heading, and we need to work out which is the dependent and the independent variable, so we're putting them on the right axis.